Hey everyone, Opendoor Technology was kind of sluggish today, I will admit. So let's look at the chart and look at a little bit of news and see what was going on today. Let's go. Here we go for the weekly chart for Opendoor Technology. And for this week, we finished with a green candle. So that's very positive. Even though today didn't look too good, we did finish this week with the green candle. So that's very positive. The RSI looks decent. Went up some, came down, and went up some right here. So let's see what happens on Monday. But RSI still looks good. The MACD is still kind of neutral, 50-50, but the RSI is becoming more positive there. The daily chart, we had 3 green candles, then we have 2 red candles. So it looks like we could be consolidating a little bit between 797 and possibly 740 area. And we finished at 770. After hours, we're at $7.65, but it's okay. It's okay because we actually had a good week this week. And as you can see, the green candle for the weekly shows a good week. It doesn't matter too much what happened today. You have to look at the weekly candlesticks and see how we're trending. Just because today wasn't good doesn't mean we're going down, right? Because we had a good week. That's all that matters. The 4-hour candle could show a little bit of a downtrend because we had some tough resistance right here at the 785, 786 area. So we're looking at resistance at 791 on this chart on the 4-hour. And it's starting to show a little bit of a downtrend right here with this moving average. It's starting to come down a little bit. And the first support is going to be right here at the 740. And then after that, we're talking about support at 706 area. 706 area support. So those are 2 supports we're looking at. And it could get another support around the 680. But we're not going to look at that because we don't want to go that direction. But the main supports right now is 740, 706. Resistance we're talking about here at the 809. And then one here at the 835. So that's going to be the area of support and resistance right there. I will say this, it looked like we could have some type of manipulation going on Opendoor again because something didn't look right in the after hours in the pre-market for Opendoor. Because after the hours from the day before, it looks kind of flat. Then pre-market, we're looking pretty good. Looking pretty good today. Pre-market was going up, consolidating, going up. People are buying shares. And as soon as the market opened, it launched off. It launched from 784 to 826 real fast. And this is a 5-minute chart. So 5, 10. So 10 minutes of straight buying and going up. That could have been manipulation because right after that 10 minutes of straight buying, it came right back down and it slowly sold off. Then it did a little fake right here. Then it consolidated. Then it came down some more. And then after hours, we're down some more. So a lot of times when you see a pre-market where it looks decent and it pumps up very early, as soon as the market opens, a lot of times that's going to be manipulation to get retail to buy in so they can sell some of their shares. So it could be profit taking, selling shares. I mentioned it before. Only way they make money, institutions, is when retail are buying. And if retail aren't buying, how will they sell their shares? So what they do is have a little pump right here in the beginning of the day. That pump will make retail start to buy because they're getting excited, thinking that Opendoor is about to launch off and start to go much, much higher. But once that excitement is over, they started to sell shares onto them, and then it slowly comes down. A little fake right here, make retail think it's going back up again, then they sell more shares. So we could have some manipulation, Jane Street, or I don't know who, but it could be someone who has a lot of shares and who want to take some profit. On the long run, I don't see anything bad for Opendoor. As far as the news goes, it's kind of a mix of news. We have 2 articles saying why Opendoor could go down, and they pretty much outline the exact same way. We have Opendoor stock surges nearly 14% in a single day, with expectations of interest rate cuts being a key driver. That was 3 days ago. You have Opendoor has plans to complicate life for short sellers 2 weeks ago. Opendoor stock beats last week's blues. Early warrant trade shows bullishness. Retail mood neutral 3 days ago. So not much news coming out today for Opendoor, but it seems like there's a mix of news for Opendoor, good and bad. And then when you look at the current news for Opendoor, you see the sentiment changes. Should investors close the door on Opendoor? Opendoor and AI opportunity or desperation? Opendoor stock today. Massive layoffs in AI. That could be good. That's 2 minutes ago. Opendoor is going to save money with massive layoffs. Why Opendoor could go to zero? This is just manipulation news, get you to sell. Because there's nothing in the official news for Opendoor showing a sell. There's nothing in the chart that's showing a sell. This is just day trading right here, the 1 minute, the 5 minute, 15. It's just day trading. The 30-minute and then 1 hour is the only two charts that we see a slight downtrend. But the 4 hour and the daily chart, it's a little bit of a downtrend, but not much, because we have two red candles and it's slightly lower. The low is slightly lower than the previous low, the previous day. But we do have these three candles that pump, Opendoor up for this week. So Opendoor wouldn't be in a downtrend for the daily or the 4 hour unless it starts to break the $7.06. If Opendoor can stay above $7.06, $7.40, we're not in a downtrend at all. There's no reason for any article really to say anything bad about it, saying going to zero, because there's nothing showing that at all. The weekly chart and daily chart looks good. 4 hour chart and the 1 hour chart is a slight downtrend, possibly, but we have support here at the 750 and 740, so we may not even hit that downtrend at all. Could be just a day trade downtrend. People selling shares for quick profit. Monday, Tuesday, we could go back up again, no problem at all, because 791 would be a nice break for a good uptrend for Opendoor, for continued uptrend from this daily and this weekly. Weekly, higher lows, right? Higher highs on the weekly chart. Everything I see on the weekly, same thing, status quo. Higher highs, higher lows, slowly grinding our way back up. Daily chart still looks good, no problem at all. 3 huge green candles, 2 small red candles. Nothing to be alarmed about. 4 hour and a 1 hour, slight downtrend on the 4 hour, 1 hour. 5-minute, you can't really get any information from that, because that's all day traders taking profit on small incremental changes in the price. To get a big, huge gain for Opendoor, to know when a breakout is coming, that's going to be at the $9 area. Once we break $9, everything is going to change for Opendoor. Right? Once we break $9, a lot of things are going to change for Opendoor. The sentiment for Opendoor is going to skyrocket, because we've been stuck at $9 for a long time. And that's the main point we need to break. And when that happens, Opendoor is going to be huge. People are talking about Opendoor all in the news again, saying Opendoor could go higher. That $9 area, that's what we need to break. And if we can break that $9, the way we're trading right now, that's going to be huge. Because when you break a certain price level with a pump, there's a chance that it'll come back down. I'm going to show you real fast. For example, right here, we went to $10.03 and the low was $6.88. We broke the $10 area, but we broke it in a way where it was kind of like a pump. And when that happens, people are going to profit take. That's the issue. When it goes up fast, people are going to profit take. Because 9 times out of 10, it's going to come down some. And of course, we did. We broke it again here, September 17th, from $8.12 to $9.46. And then profit take, because we had a long ride up here. So this was another chance right here for more people to profit take. So people profit take here on this pump, and people profit take here on this pump, right? And then it slowly tried to come up some, right? And then it started to come down some more, went up, came down some more. Then the earnings happened. And people probably sold a little bit right in this area, because people were concerned about how the earnings were going to be. And when the earnings came out, it went down to $4.86. So that was a chance for a lot of people to buy in. So now $4.86, $5, $6, I'll be very surprised to go down to those levels again, because people loaded up here and they're not going to sell from 4 to 6 price range area. There's no reason. The profit is so small. Only way it will go down to $4, $5, and $6 area again is if there's some bad news in the housing market, no interest rate cut. That's the only way, in my opinion. But as long as things stay status quo and we keep getting good news, the 4 to 6 area, I don't see it happening again. And what we want to do, as I mentioned earlier, is break that $9 in a slow grind way up. Not a pump, but a slow grind. Because when you slow grind your way up to a certain price level, it's a higher chance you're going to hold that area. You're not going to dump back down again like you did here. Went up and came back down again. Went up and came back down again. So you want to slowly go up. Similar to how we're trading right now. A couple candlesticks going up, then some candlesticks going down. A couple candlesticks going up, some going down. But you want to slowly, trend upward while doing that. And then you want to do that until you get to $8 to $9 area. And then if you can hold that $8.50 at $9 area. But when you start pumping, that's when, profit takers come out and then the price goes down. pretty quickly. So this is the area you want to break, and we want to slowly go there. The same way we're doing it now, price little by little. And if we can do that, there's a higher chance that we will consolidate in this area up here instead of way down here. So we're looking good so far. So yeah, thanks everybody for sticking around on my channel, right? Subscribe, like, and comment if you haven't already. And we keep pushing Opendoor. Keep pushing Opendoor. Opendoor Army strong. Thanks everybody. Take care.